Good morning and welcome to a very, very wet St Lawrence Church in Cholesbury in Buckinghamshire. Now today we are here to visit the final resting place of an actress. Her name, Margarette Scott. Now I touched upon this actress recently when I did my video on Celia Johnson. They were at RADA together, both doing their training. Obviously they both took different paths. Now I've told you all about Celia Johnson, so in this video we're going to have a look around this charming, absolutely beautiful out the way little churchyard while I tell you the story of Margarette Scott. Margaretta Mary Winifred Scott was born in Westminster, London on the 13th of February 1912. Her parents were Bertha Eugene and Hugh Arthur Scott, who was a distinguished music critic. She was educated at the Convent of the Holy Child in Cavendish Square before moving on to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts, where she shared a scholarship with Celia Johnson, and was also awarded the Kendall Prize. Margaretta started acting as a child, giving private performances of verse speaking and dance drama to entertain her family and friends. In 1926, at the age of 14, she made her acting debut on the London stage in Romeo and Juliet. She became a leading exponent of the work of William Shakespeare through a series of notable performances in the early and mid-1930s. Her screen career started in 1934, where she made an uncredited appearance in The Private Life of Don Juan. After this, she reprised her stage role of Leonora Stafford in the film version of Dirty Work with Robertson Hare and Ralph Lynn. After this, she appeared in Peg of Old Drury with Anna Neagle. She made 3 pictures for London Films: Things to Come, 1936, with Ralph Richardson, Raymond Massey and Anne Todd, Action for Slander, 1937, and Return of the Scarlet Pimpernel, also in 1937. Throughout the Second World War, Margaretta continued to perform in theatrical productions, both at home and abroad, touring North Africa and Italy with Ensa in 1944. She also performed at the Shakespeare Memorial Theatre in Stratford-upon-Avon in 1941 and 1942. Her stage credits included Margin of Error, 1940, The Holy Isle, 1942, Watch on the Rhine, 1943, and The Hasty Heart, 1945. While performing in these plays during wartime, she also made films: The Girl in the News, 1940, Quiet Wedding, 1940, Atlantic Ferry, 1941, Sabotage at Sea, 1942, and Fanny by Gaslight, 1944. Over the next 3 decades, she appeared on stage throughout the United Kingdom and abroad, including tours to the Far East, Canada, and North and South Africa. Apart from world premieres of contemporary plays such as Aunt Edwina, 1958, with Henry Kendall, The Right Honourable Gentleman, 1964, with Anthony Quayle, and The Understanding, 1982, with Celia Johnson and Ralph Richardson. Many of her theatre credits in the 1960s, 70s and 1980s were revivals of Oscar Wilde's comedies, including Lord Arthur Saville's Crime, 1968, A Woman of No Importance, 1974 and 1978, The Importance of Being Earnest, 1974 and 1980, An Ideal Husband, 1976 and 1977, and her final West End performance in Hodson's Choice, 1995. Margaretta was one of the first women to perform Shakespeare on television, in the role of Beatrice in a stage production of Much Ado About Nothing, which was broadcast by the BBC in 1937. In 1946, she portrayed Portia in a made-for-television production of The Merchant of Venice. For 25 years from the 1970s, she played a number of distinguished parts in popular television dramas. These included Lord Peter Wimsey, Elizabeth R., The Duchess of Duke Street, Upstairs Downstairs, Lovejoy, and for several years as Mrs. Pumphrey with her Pekingese, Trickaboo, in the BBC series All Creatures Great and Small. Margaretta was married to the English composer John Wooldridge, who was killed in a motoring accident in 1958. Their daughter, Susan Wooldridge, is also an actress, and their son, Hugh Wooldridge, is a theatre director and producer. Margaretta Scott passed away from pneumonia and breast cancer at her home in London on the 15th of April 2005, aged 93. She was laid to rest with her husband at St Lawrence's Church, Cholesbury, Buckinghamshire, which is where we are today. Right, well that's all the information I could get on Margaretta Scott. And as you've heard, she was in a few films and obviously stage. A lot of the actors and actresses of those days were on stage. But I didn't realise this site is actually right next to an Iron Age hill fort. It's a very beautiful little area. And also with this weather the way it is today, you wouldn't believe it was 29, well in the cab of my lorry it was 34 degrees yesterday. Clear blue skies, absolutely baking hot. But this is such a beautiful little quiet churchyard surrounded on all four sides by tall trees. It's very enclosed, very small. That's why I struggled to do enough filming really. But it's definitely a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. But anyway, Margaretta Scott's final resting place is just over the other side of this church, so I shall spin you around, and as per usual, we will go and have a look at it together. Yeah, it's just around the other side of this church. It's another very well-known actress that has wound up in one of these very small, out-of-the-way little churchyards. I'm always baffled. She must have had some connection to the area. But right, she's buried right under this tree here in front of us. So let's try and squeeze. So let's put the brolly down. Let's leave that. Don't actually need that under a tree. So let's come around here. And this is it. In dearly loved memory of John de Lacy Wooldridge, DSO, DFC and Bar and DFM, 1819 to 1950, no, that's 1919 to 1958, and his beloved wife Margaretta Scott Wooldridge, 1912 to 2005, devoted mother to Susie and Hugh. That is the final resting place of Margaretta Scott. Well, I've actually decided to put the brolly down. The rain has more or less stopped now, just as I finished filming. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you like the content, then maybe consider subscribing. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you will be notified each and every time I upload a new video. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I will see you all on the next one, hopefully. Bye bye for now.